number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
Thank you.
Welcome to Spotlight on the Arts. I'm Patrick Cristiano, your host, the publisher of TheaterLife.com, a website for theater buffs covering all things theater. And we're coming to you from the LTV studio in Wainscott, where I have a really exciting guest, my new friend, Asia Lee. Asia, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Patrick, for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Well, every time I talk to you, I just get more and more amazed. And I brought my little notes because Asia is an artist and a healer, but her journey to photography has been all over the map, I guess you'd have to say. She has done so many things. I brought my notes because I can't remember them all. I mean, she's been a softball, baseball, basketball coach for almost 30 years. She wrote Fundamentals for Baseball. She works for a biotech company, Altucell. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Altucell. And her images have won awards 7 out of 10 years in Newsday.
Yes.
And you're the honoree this year at Hofstra University for the Diversity Award. And you get an award almost every year, it seems like, for...
It's not. I'm really humbled and grateful to spread this love and compassion. So, if we all just did a little bit, how beautiful would the world be? So, I'm grateful. I'm truly like, I still pinch myself in like, how did I get where I am, even here today in the studio, and. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much for coming. Asia and I, we met. I don't even remember where we met, but we saw each other just recently at the Guildhall Gala, where we reconnected, and we picked up right where we left off that I didn't remember as well as you did, because for whatever reason, I don't know why.
Well, we had this. I remember it because I was fascinated by you and your story, and the book your life lessons from the book.
The show I wrote, My Lessons from Dogs, yes.
It was a Longhouse. So we spent like a half hour before walking in that we didn't even see the swimmers and all the beginning entertainment because we were so engrossed. I was so engrossed in speaking with you, and you had invited me. And then I'm so glad we ran into each other again at Guildhall. I was so excited when...
Well, one of the things that we discovered in talking, too, is the power of stories, because I'd like to talk about your story later on, because it's incredible what you've been through, and we shared a commonality about the power of telling your own story, and how people that can identify with it is releasing for them, but it's inspiring for people that can identify with it, and it becomes a really freeing force for the storyteller.
Yes, because stories are so powerful, because you see how someone overcame something or something similar to you, or the pain. Because for me, I know when I was in pain, I didn't have any role models.
Yeah. Before we even get to that, let's show them where we're at.
Okay.
And let's show them the work.
Okay. Yes.
So because and these are all photographs for the most part, and you also do films. But let's do the photographs first. So can we? I think we have a few. Could we have them like one at a time? Whatever we have. Now here's one.
Yes. Oh yes.
No, what is it? This is where is.
So this is in Babylon, and it's a mom with her, the ugly ducklings, but this is so cute. They do look like, when they're born, they're a little older here, so they're starting to look cute.
Beautiful.
So, yes.
Oh, wow.
So this is summer. This is right on the beach. I love when the tide is just calm and you can see the reflection. And I think it's just to take a breath and see the beauty that wherever you are, there is always beauty. It's what we focus on. And that's what I try to focus on a daily basis, to like prime myself and to share it with the world on what a beautiful place we live. There's still so much beauty.
And all your photographs focus on nature and beauty, and,
Yes.
and you want to share that with people, is what it's all about.
Yeah, well, there's so much science and data to Nature Fix, and especially in the morning, or even in the evening during sunrise sunset time, it literally, Mother Nature literally rewards you with dopamine. She's kind of giving you like this love, and why I mean, I don't know anybody who doesn't get happy seeing a sunrise or sunset.
Is that a scientific fact that
Yes.
you get dopamine
Yes.
in the morning?
Yes. Yes.
The air? How do you get dopamine in the morning?
From the sunlight. From
the
the sunlight. The
Really?
sunlight. Hmm.
That's fascinating.
Yes.
I never knew that.
And there's lots of books on Nature Fix, you know, because we are energy. And what people don't realize is when we went to school, I don't know, like back in the day, you know, the cell, the atom, they thought the atom was solid, but now they're realizing that it is 99.999999 empty space and energy. That's 7 nines after the point. So why we are affected by nature, the sand, yes. So there's so many books and science coming out on this fact, the data.
Well, I mean, I know one of the things I did was get out into nature during the pandemic and bicycle ride a lot. And every time I got out into the nature, I was reinforced with a positive energy and felt good. It was, you know.
And that's double, because also the eye movement. So when you're bicycling, the way that things are moving, and also walking. So those are two really powerful things for healing. It's not just me saying it. There's a lot of Stanford data to research why when you're inside on the still bicycle doesn't have the same effect, because you're not getting this motion. It's about the eyes. Everything is about perception in the eyes.
I can't imagine even doing bicycling on a still bicycle. Why?
Well, a lot of people enjoy. A lot of people
I'm
enjoy
not
it.
familiar,
Yes, but far as a healing, the walking and being on a real bicycle, because it's the things moving and the way our eyes are perceiving it. So it's this motion that helps the healing aspect of it, plus the nature, the energy.
So we have some more pictures of. I think we have a few more, right? Yes. Oh my God, that's gorgeous.
Oh, so this was recently in the when we had the eclipse. So that's the sun with the moon right in front of it, giving a big smile. I call it the sun smiling. And those are egrets. This is taken in Fort Salonga, which is the north shore of Long Island in Nassau County. And we just got so lucky with the eclipse that day. Because it was supposed to be cloudy, so a lot of people didn't go out to see it because they didn't think they could see it. But because of the cloudy, the sun was like orangish. I don't know if you've seen the sun on a cloudy morning instead of
the birds were actually just sitting there like that. The birds were just there.
Well, you have to compose. Yeah, I have to move around and compose before they move around, because they're eating, so they're constantly moving and flying.
Okay.
So what's great about photography is, you know, you capture a single moment and it seems like it's forever, but they were probably there only a few seconds. So I got really lucky that morning.
Is that the picture that you thought might win the award this year?
Yeah, it's probably for Newsday, because it's newsworthy. We had the eclipse on Long Island. It's the egrets. It's not just plain seagulls. Like, people don't realize how many
gorgeous, too.
beautiful birds we have all around us here. So.
It's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. I
Thank
hope you win. I think
You know what? To me,
it doesn't matter, right?
Yes. The winning is like a bonus. My passion is just like to be in it and capturing it, and I'm just so grateful. Like that when you get that shot, it's just like wow, you know. So it's the highlight of being in that moment.
How did you get up? We spoke that during the pandemic you shot almost every morning or made films. Didn't we talk about you?
Yes.
So do you want to share with our audience what you did during the pandemic, making films and?
Yes, so I.
Wait, did we finish all the images? Let's finish. I'm sorry. Did we finish all the images, guys? Are there more? Do you know, Asia?
Yes, there should be more.
Oh wow, that's beautiful too. Now where's this one?
This is Jones Beach. It was so amazing. I felt like I felt like I was one of the birds, because when they would come and land on the beach, I would be so close to them and they weren't startled. I felt that this happens often, where I just feel I'm a part of the flock, and it helps me capture really great images because they're not just running away.
Right.
I can sit there and compose images. But what I liked about this one was it give the silhouette and the colors of the morning orange sky.
When you like this is, it sounds like all these photographs from so many different locations all over. Do you set your calendar where you're going to go? Do you have an agenda? How does it happen? Or you wake up in the morning and say, oh, let's just go to Jones Beach. I mean, what happens?
Well, yes and no. Sometimes
What I figured.
sometimes I have a plan, but I wake up too late. So I have no electronics. I'm like a wild animal. So I set my internal clock to wake up like an hour before sunrise. But sometimes I'll wake up earlier.
At what time do you go to bed?
I go to bed anytime from 10 to 1 o'clock.
Okay.
And when I go to bed that late, I'm like tired in the morning and I just want to roll over and go back to sleep. And
Yeah.
I know like how important sleep is. But during the pandemic, it was really fantastic because I was able to get to sleep anywhere between 10 and 11. I go to bed late when there's events and charities and stuff. It's difficult to, when
Yeah,
a
yeah,
charity ends at
of course.
11 to go to, yes.
The thing is, you make an itinerary, but you don't always make an itinerary. So
Yeah,
it's
I
always
look at the
different.
sky. I look at the sky because, say it's raining here, right, in the Hamptons, but it can be sunny in Nassau County,
right,
or a
right. Yeah,
storm, like
yeah,
they had
yeah.
a hailstorm, I
Uh-huh.
think, yesterday evening, but it was beautiful here.
Right, I know.
So I look at this. I look at the sky, and sometimes I'll look at the cloud map because I love clouds. Those are the things that bring beautiful color and depth, and just it's like the clouds are stories to me.
I love the clouds too.
Yeah. So it's a little combination of both. And I went to Jones Beach because there's a white snowy owl.
Oh,
Yes. So he's here for a very short
Did
season.
you get him?
Oh yeah, I have a collection of him, and he's just so beautiful.
Oh, I'd love to see a photo. You'll have to send me one.
I will
I would love to
definitely.
see that.
I will.
I have a
definitely.
friend that loves owls.
You know what? I'll send you a print. I'll send you a print of the snowy owl. I have him like all different
Oh,
with
thank you,
flying
thank
in
you,
from
thank
the
you.
sun. My pleasure. Flying in from the sunrise. I have him just sitting really close, and it's not like. I give him the space, and you'll see people from all over come to photograph the snowy owl. Sometimes it can be, literally like 50 photographers. And I like to get away from the photographers, like to shoot at another angle or something like that. And what's so cool is like, he leaves them and he comes straight to you. So I get his face coming to me. Or
Oh, wow.
you're supposed to stay a certain feet, but if I'm here and he flies and he sits like this close to me, like I'll startle him by moving. So I just stay still, and I'm able to capture get
that's
the
cool.
amazing shots.
Are there more images? Or was that it?
I think there might be one more.
One more?
Yeah.
Oh, gorgeous.
So I just love
Where is
how
this?
unique. This is Cold Spring Harbor. So I was coming home, and this tree just stood out. All that is ice crystals. This is the snowy ice crystals.
Mm-hmm.
So it's winter, but this tree decided to keep its leaves, and to me it was just so symbolic, like how unique and how we don't. Well, I love
This
the
one was special.
it was
This
special.
one was special.
It was special. I like how nature doesn't always conform. I love taking photos of a
Well,
flower
it's a
growing in a
theme-
gas
it's a theme.
station.
It's a theme to you. You like where things don't conform. Yes.
Yes, 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 yes.
We talked, we're well into the show. We only have maybe a little over 10 minutes left.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it goes so fast, believe
Yes,
it or not.
yes.
But we talked about your story, and which, you shared with me a few days ago, and I was stunned to hear that you were stolen as a child at 5 years old.
Yes, yes.
And you were made to stay in a cult, and you were almost treated like a slave until you were 16. How do you recover from something like that and get to this place that you're at?
Well,
What do you want to share with us about it?
but you know what? For the longest time, I felt like I was a victim. And you can look at it as a victim because I was a kid. I was stolen from my family, and I just, I want. I go want. I wanted a family. I wanted the life. I wanted love. I wanted so much. So instead of going from want, I changed my perspective to I'm here now and gratitude. And I look at because I didn't grow up in this box, like my whole life was shattered. So I feel like this box was shattered. I think if I grew up here or Korea, I would have never coached football or baseball. My thought would have been oh, I'm a girl, whatever. But I didn't know any better. I didn't know all the things I couldn't do.
No one told you couldn't.
Exactly. And I was on this journey for, I remember when I was 8, thinking when I grow up, I want to be happy. And I was on this journey, what
To be
create.
happy.
Mm-hmm. And I did so much self-work, reading, certification, learning, going back to school, studying quantum physics, neuroscience, metaphysics. I'm still learning quantum physics and neuroscience because the neuroscience is changing so rapidly. So this is our brain, right? Back when I was in high school, it was considered fixed, you couldn't change it. Now, there's a whole new science of neuroplasticity that wasn't available when I went to university or when we went to college because they didn't believe it. But now that we have the PET scan, the brain scans that can see how the brain can change just from our thoughts. So this is the brain, which is solid.
Just from our thoughts. Repeat that.
Just from our
I
thoughts.
think that is such a powerful statement that most people aren't aware of.
Yes. You know what? It takes 30 years for the general public to, for this information to get out and be taught. So this is your brain, and it used to be considered fixed. This is your mind, and your thoughts literally changes the chemistry of your brain. So you always have a choice, but our beliefs hold us back. All our BS hold us back. And all the BS is the belief system. And everything is a belief system. I know it's difficult to, it was a difficult concept to think that something that I see as a chair and this and that is a belief. But we all have stories. And it's these stories that I say, it doesn't matter what story you have, but you have a choice. Choose it to make you feel good and empowering. It doesn't matter, why choose the one that's just, for me, oops.
Why choose the one that keeps you down?
Why choose the one that takes my power away and disempowers me?
Mm-hmm.
I want to know that I create my reality. And I have a choice about the future to be fearful or ooh.
Now, did this happen in a split second for you, or is this a slow evolution of getting to this place?
Both. It's been a slow evolution, but I've had leaps and bounds from meditating. So I get
Meditation is the real source for you then?
meditation's the real source, and there's
I just want to, because I'm sorry to interrupt, but
That's okay.
at 16, because at 16 you tried to kill yourself
yes. So I was
because you were so miserable and so unhappy, and this cult, you just.
So you know what? I didn't see any other way out.
Right.
Any other way out. I was in so much emotional pain,
Right.
and And
Who
like,
wouldn't be?
the- and if, like if you looked at my life and all the things that happen, I mean, it's textbook trauma, textbook
right,
trauma,
right,
not
I
just
know.
for one incident of being stolen, but the abuse of hunger, physical, like just so much stuff.
Right.
So when I was 16, I wasn't even
just
thinking
couldn't-
clear. I was
Right.
just in so much pain. I just wanted to leave this
You just
planet.
couldn't endure it anymore.
Exactly. And then when I took the entire bottle of pills and I was going into seizure in this tunnel of light, a voice said, you have a purpose. And I was being sent back. Not that I came back to life. I mean, I went to the hospital and then,
You didn't go into the tunnel and die. You were sent back.
yes, I was sent back.
You were
And
sent back with a purpose.
With the purpose. But the thing is, I'm not the only one that has a purpose. We all have a purpose. If you are here, you have a purpose. Nothing is an accident. So
No, I,
you are
I
purpose.
believe like you believe too. I believe there are certain things that we're meant to do. And I mean, I know I've done things that I feel I was destined to do.
Yes.
And so,
And my purpose now is because I came from this dark place and I literally
well, you came from a sunny place, taken to a dark place, to get back to a sunny place, right?
Yes, and that's interesting you say that because my son was reading some blogs on cults and things like that, and the cult I was in, and my name appeared, and he goes, "How could you forgive? How could you forgive? These people belong in prison and stuff." And I said, "I forgive not for them, but for me." And this is something that we all need to understand. We don't forgive for other people. We forgive for ourselves so we can be in joy. And I wanted to show that.
Because to hold on to anger and resentment, they're not good feelings, and there's no room for positive feelings when you're holding on to those negative feelings.
Yes, not only does it hurt us, but we hurt the people that we love around us unintentionally. Because you've seen your when you were growing up, when your parents come home or they're grumpy and
Let's not go
angry.
there.
No, but they don't mean it. They're just
I know, I
just
think mine did.
No, but this is what I say to a lot of parents is that you have to have self-love and self-care because you will hurt others and especially the loved ones unintentionally because they don't know that you don't mean it, you know. So, yes. Thank you for asking.
So your son asked you that question, and did he hear you when you gave him the answer?
Yeah,
and he-
I said I came from love and I returned to love, that I wasn't broken.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my text to him, and all right, he's still evolving because he goes, "Mom, you're much better than I am."
that's why I wanted to get to. So he's still evolving. So he couldn't, because I don't think that was the point I wanted to make. I don't think you grasp that or get to that place that quickly, even though you're planting the seeds and you're nurturing the potential for them to grow. It doesn't happen instantly. So you at 16,
Yes.
you had your moment of, what do you call it? What would you call it? Cathartic?
Well, you know what? Nothing changed. For me, nothing changed. Even when I had that, like I had a purpose, I was still in a state of trauma and victimhood and disassociation. But what did happen is that when I got back home, my adopted mother said, if you want to kill yourself, to do it someplace else because we don't want to deal with the dead body. So
This is the cult.
Yes,
The people that stole you.
no, they didn't steal me. They adopted me.
Oh,
They didn't know any better. They could only go by the adoption papers.
I see. Oh, they made. I forgot. Part of her story was they made all kinds of falsified information about you.
Yes.
So you were
so-
just, no one knew who your real parents were or anything, and then someone else. I forgot that part. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I'll just so I was born on Jeju Island, and this man asked me if I want to go play with a bunch of kids. There was a high demand for Korean children back in the 70s. I'm dating myself. And I
You
got
could do
taken.
this in 3 minutes.
Okay. And I got taken off my island and brought to Seoul. So I have no legal documentation, no birth certificate, nothing. And then they just made up everything about me so that I can be adopted. So the people adopting me, they didn't steal
They
me.
didn't
They,
have-
they, just,
I
they didn't know
understand.
anything. They could only go by the
They were
paperwork.
naive.
Yeah, and just, I'm not the only one that this happened
Right,
to.
right.
It has happened to a lot of people. So, but besides it happening to a lot of people, like people can relate to pain, and that's what I want to share. Is pain, and that you don't have to live in pain. That you don't have to live in pain, and that's my mission. My mission is to share, no matter what you've been through or what you're going through, or even like your traumas come from this pandemic, that you could have a turnaround. And the way you have a turnaround is asking your brain questions. Positive thinking does not work. You know, we're told often to think positive, but your subconscious will say BS. You know, that it's not true. So you have to validate what you're feeling. Like, I feel sad. I feel depressed. I feel left out. You list all your things that you're feeling, and then this is the secret. You do the turnaround. I'm not depressed. I'm not alone, because we really aren't alone. If you think about it, and it's not about feeding the turnaround to yourself. What you do is you look for some truth to the turnaround.
Right, right.
And that's where you start with just a little bit of the positive truth, and you build upon that. So,
I think your story is so amazing. I mean, we're almost out of time. We have just over a minute. So, I mean, you might want to come back and share some of the steps that you took, because you're just kind of giving the baby steps of what you did in the beginning. But at 16 to where you are, there's a lot of stuff you've done in between.
yeah.
Besides just take pictures. And we didn't even talk about this little piece here. You want to tell us about this?
This is a mixed media. It's acrylic paint, and I take real sand from the beach because I just love, you know, I'm my BS. My BS is everything is energy, and I feel the sand has so much, and the earth has so much energy. I wanted to put it into artwork where people can see it and feel it, and so I have an exhibit coming up in September in Sag Harbor, which I'll let you know, which will be this mixed media.
Do you know where now?
Monica Gallery is next to the pizza place on Main Street.
Oh, okay. Do you know the
Yes.
dates?
No, I
Okay.
don't.
But what in the fall you said? Did you say in the fall? I didn't.
September, end of
September, yeah,
end of September. Yes, it's coming. It's coming up soon, and I don't have all the info. Sorry.
You'll have to come back and visit with us again. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank
Believe
you,
it or
thank
not, we
you.
are out of time.
No,
Asia.
yes, I knew it would go fast with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.